heading out here in just a few seconds, 6 o'clock. We're going to be taking the 87 up north up towards Hill City. A couple cool tunnels I've heard on this road here. Actually, I've seen them on online, but gonna do that. Then we're gonna come back down and hit Mount Rushmore. After we do that, make our way up towards Deadwood area. Hopefully, it's not raining. Spent the night last night. Cool little Hill City roadside motel here in Hot Springs, South Dakota. Cool little place. So we're going to get on the road here, and looks like we got a few clouds. Hopefully no rain today. I got caught in just a little bit yesterday, but I'll get on the road here. Hopefully get some sunrise shots coming off over some of these passes. Gun-Riding Needles Highway. Absolutely fantastic, as you've noticed probably in the pictures there. In the town of Hill City, and there's a railroad museum gonna go check out. After this, heading up to grab some tokens at the Harley dealer, back down to Custer, and then over to Mount Rushmore. And I believe that road is 16A, I believe. So, catch you inside. Here at the Crazy Horse, kind of hard to see in the background, but here's what it's going to look like eventually. This is a 134th. Have to take a bus ride up there is what it looks like to get a little bit closer. Alright, instead of taking a bus up to Crazy Horse, I'm gonna do something a little different here. So I don't know if you can read that right there. Gonna go take a helicopter tour of Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. So we'll be leaving here in 10 or 15 minutes, he said. I'll get some, hopefully some pretty cool footage. See you up in there. Well, that might have been just the coolest way to see those monuments there. So I'll try to pull a few clips off of the DJI here so I can send them out to a few people. But what away. So gonna go hit Iron Mountain now and actually make my way to Mount Rushmore on the bike this time. So see you on the road. cool town. Way cool town. Currently here at Mount Moriah Cemetery. Anybody that knows our Western history, it's where Calamity Jane, Wild Bill Hitchcock are buried. So I'm gonna go up and check out their grave sites here, right up there, and I'll get some pics. Alright, decided to call it quits here finally tonight, just south of Deadwood a little bit. Got my own little cabin back there, own parking spot, dirty bike. One of probably the best riding days I've ever been on. Everything was perfect today. It started out down in Hot Springs, took 87 up to Hill City, and then from Hill City made my way over to Custer, saw the train museum, and then hopped on the helicopter for the tour of Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. Came back down, took the 16X over to Mount Rushmore. Cool road. That first one I was on was called Needles Highway. This morning, just a fantastic, like the views, the tunnel views, the I guess you call them corkscrews. Ran into probably 5 of those today. Beautiful day. Then took off over to Rapid City, up 90, hit the as you can tell, the National Cemetery. That was pretty neat. Maybe neat's not the word, but pretty. It's always good to recognize what was given up for us to be able to do this sometimes. But tomorrow, making it over to Devil's Tower, and then I'll probably play around Deadwood just a little bit more, and make my way over to the Badlands by Friday night. Friday morning I'll be in the Badlands, and I'll be heading home. Alright, we'll catch you in the morning. Morning from Leeds, South Dakota. Stayed the night at these cool little cabins here, right off the highway. Heading out to Spearfish Canyon, and then up to Devil's Tower. From there, I'm going to make my way probably actually back to Deadwood. I didn't get much time there yesterday. It looks like a pretty cool town, so I'm going to go walk around there for a little bit. But the weather wasn't showing anything supposed to happen today, but it looks like I'm going to get maybe just a little bit before I eat breakfast. So catch up with you here on the road, and talk to you later.
Stopped for some gas here in Sundance, Wyoming. Ran the Spearfish Canyon Road out of Deadwood to get here. Absolutely, that is now my favorite road on earth. That was the best scenery, best roadside everything. It was great. So just driving through, didn't even put two and two together, and I could be wrong, but could be the Sundance Kid. Sure is. Well, getting here was absolutely brutal, but hopefully a little short hike will make it worth it. Come around the corner, you'll see. They have a one-way, not one-way, they got a metered parking, so it took about 45 minutes to go a half mile, letting like 4 cars go every couple minutes. So we're beating. Absolutely worth it though. Catch you on top. about done riding today. On my way back, that Spearfish Canyon I mentioned before was on the way, so got to ride it 3 times a day. Once this morning, twice this afternoon. Stopping here at this Wall Drug. Apparently it's quite the attraction. Guess we'll find out when we get inside.
No, you don't say it.
This place like really does have everything. Oh. Holy cow. On a rock, you got rocks. Need Western ropes? I got Western ropes. Art. Fudge. Mount Rushmore's? Absolutely. Jackalopes? They got jackalopes. Singing gorillas? I got a singing gorilla. Buffalo?
Yeah.
They even have dragons.